And now, introducing Casey Carter.
Hey, it's Casey. Okay, I hope you weren't waiting for me at 8 o'clock. I did repeatedly all week tell you tonight's show is at 8:30 because I have some amazing guests on who I graciously, kindly, lovingly, willingly, gratefully adjusted my start time. So you should already know tonight's guests are Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noire from Royal Fetish Films, Master Fetish Trainers, but we'll talk about all of that in a minute. I want to first thank my guest from last week, Cleo Stiller. She is a Peabody and Emmy nominated author of the Amazon #1 seller, Modern Manhood. Was a very interesting conversation talking about, I guess, modern manhood in the age of Me Too. And um, one of the biggest takeaways for me in the reading her book was we don't have enough clinical information on the male experience from the Black perspective. Yes, there are absolutely plenty of stories, autobiographical, fictional, that talk about the experience of the African American male, but not enough from this clinical perspective. And so that's kind of been my new thing now, trying to find more on that, especially being the mom of a 19-year-old Black boy. I guess I can't, that's not fair of me to call him a Black boy. He's now a man. But anyway, so thank you again to Cleo Stiller for being my guest last week. And so I'm actually preparing a love child program for you all at the end of the month. It's a two-part relaunch of a program that I created back in, I think it was 2018, called The Intimacy of Food. And I'm so thrilled to be bringing it back, to be showing it to you all, and to share this experience of how um, food creates intimate moments that help create connections that can lead to significant experiences. So, just to give you a little taste, just a little taste of where this is going on the 24th and the 31st, here's the intimacy of food.
There is certain amount of power around the white chef's coat and the long white apron, right? I mean, you put yourself in control. Like, I got you. I own you for this moment that comes to the food. And you are at my mercy because I'm the cooker, okay? And there is a certain amount of, I enjoy that I'm in control of that part. Am I moving into the wrong area?
Oh no. Hey. So, yes, stay tuned. I did this, oh my God, back in 2018. I did an episode with Chef Tony Moore and Parisha, this amazing mixologist, and we had the most amazing meal. And then I did a follow up to that where I had the magnificent Marla Stewart. And we talked a little bit about intimacy over some sushi and vodka. I don't even remember exactly what we had. I just know Parisha made the most amazing drinks. But yeah, I'm excited about this project, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you. So, however, speaking of intimacy, my guest tonight, again, Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noire. Let's just say I met them back in 2017, 2018. Met them at an Exotica in New Jersey. And well, that's a whole nother story exactly how the introduction happened. But yeah, they absolutely amazing couple. Jet Setting Jasmine is a licensed and clinical therapist with a strong emphasis on intimacy post injury and intimacy post illness. She is co owner with partner King Noire of award winning Royal Fetish Films and has over 20 years of experience as an adult entertainer, educator, and master fetish trainer. King Noire is an accomplished writer, artist, MC, and global activist, using the proceeds of his album, My Music is My Weapon, to build a school, freshwater well, and medical clinic in Guinea-Bissau in West Africa. The duo's love of the arts, film, and education are combined to produce erotica that stimulates and engages the audience to explore their sexual boundaries. Their work on the decolonization of sex and porn and politics has been featured in Vice, Huffington Post, Rolling Stone, Playboy, Forbes, Cosmopolitan, BBC, Psychology Today, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noire. Woo! Wait, I got applause somewhere around here. I didn't move fast enough. I should have had that ready for you, but anyway, thank you.
That's It's all good. Somebody making it clap for us somewhere.
Yes.
I have no doubt somebody is making it clap. For real. Here we go. Duchess Cashmere. Yes.
Yes, Fetish Cashmere is always on point.
Yes. Like you said, King, somebody's clapping somewhere. We found it. So Jasmine and King, I gave your standard introduction, but how do you introduce yourselves?
Future Jet Man of the Month.
King's pick of the week.
How do we introduce ourselves?
I don't know.
Owners of things and trainers of people.
Yeah, movers and shakers. Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, all the things. Podcaster, fornicators, that's in yours. Philanthropist, that's in yours.
Philosopher,
That's in yours.
all that.
All of
I'm just his baby mom. I got me a good one, y'all. I snagged me a good one.
See, and that's the stuff you can't put on the cue card, okay? that's why I had to ask. That's why I had to ask. So I wanted you all here because, again, not that I've known you for forever, but I've known you long enough to watch what you do, be around what you do, and just watch the two of you and how you engage one another. Like literally, when I met you all at Exotica in New Jersey, I initially went to the booth and King was like, Jasmine's not here. Come back when Jasmine's here and we'll talk and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then, I came back, but Jasmine, you were busy beating somebody or something like that,
I miss those days.
Yes. But it was really great to see you all in that element, and to see people embrace what you do. And And so I thought it would be an interesting to have conversation with you about intimacy, about how, because you're not just business owners, you're parents. And how do people who live busy lives then create intimate experiences for themselves at home?
I think one way is broadening your scope of what intimacy is.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have a very limited idea of how to be intimate with their partner. Like, it's got to be X, Y, and Z, or, we missing out and we need to beef about it or something. But really, especially in the times that we're living in right now, there's so much going on, or there's absolutely nothing going on, right? So, you have to kind of like steal as many moments away for each other as possible, and also be creative as possible at the same time. Like it might take you know sexting somebody that's in the same house with you, because nobody else is leaving. You might not be able to just say out loud what you normally could say out loud when y'all go out and
In the
have
hotel.
and have a date in the telly, you know what I mean, in the waterbed. You can't do that. You can't do it, so you're gonna have to be creative, and it might come to sexting, or sending each other some intimate pictures that y'all was able to take on the low somewhere real quick, or sharing music with one another, or wait until all the kids go to bed, which means you gotta be up past your normal bedtime. But just finding whatever moments you can, and also being in the moment that we're in. Like, we're getting through this together. Or if you're socially distant, you're still getting through it together because y'all are each other's support. And that's intimate as fuck. Like, you can't get no more intimate than surviving a global pandemic with somebody that you care about and that you love. Like, that's a once in a generation experience.
God, I hope so.
I hope.
So, you said a mouthful. You said like two mouthfuls, King. And in listening to that, a lot of what I'm hearing is, in order to do those things, you have to do them with intention. You're thinking about, this is something I want to do in order to connect with my partner. Am I reading that right?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to that redefining or broadening up what intimacy means. I think, I remember people saying, like, if you want something done, give it to a busy person, because they'll figure out how to do it. Like, and we met each other ripping and running. So that is something that has been important with us being able to adjust. Like, we've been a long distance couple, we've been a working couple, we've been a parenting couple, we've been, like, through many things. We have had to constantly redefine intimacy for ourselves, because our lifestyle has moved and changed, and we are busy people. But I do think that we always find the time to connect, and we are also creatives. So bringing that to the table, over this time, like, you wrote a beautiful, beautiful poem that was dedicated to, or captured the essence of our love. And, like, that's published. I don't need to have sex on that. Like, I'm good. I listen to songs that King has wrote, and that has been inspired by our love and our relationship. And honestly, that can go way deeper in moments that I need to feel close than sneaking away and having, like, a quickie while we're trying to work in between, the kids and the schedule and stuff. So
Quickies ain't bad, though.
No, they're not bad. And they have sustained us too. Deeply.
What you say about the value of the poem. It's sort of like intimacy in the bank. When you need to go, when you need that, you can just pull it down, pull it out, pull it off the shelf, whatever the case is. And it's a reminder of that connection. I mean, because I often describe the benefit of intimacy as deepening the connection between your partner, really kind of giving you this sense that when I can't be with you, I'm always with you. When you have an intimate relationship with them. And so again, see, this is why I knew I could have this conversation with y'all, because in watching the two of you interact with one another, you know, you see that connection. You see you're not just these two people who do these things together. You have that sort of connection where you could be back to back and literally sense what the other person needs, you know, because
That's so weird. Y'all can see that. You can see
not
that.
everybody, but I see it. I see it.
Really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we can say that all the time. Like, I see that y'all have a connection. I know we do, you know, but to be able to hear someone articulate what I feel when we are back to back, I'm like, ooh, King. And like 2 hours later, he was like, you know, when we were back to back, and yes, you know, so that's so cool that you can see that.
Yeah. Well, and again, like I said, I've watched you all over the years, and you know, I mean, because again, you guys are often busy when we're at the conventions, and so I can't always steal you away for a quick hi and everything. So, but in that moment of watching, you know, I can see that you've built a bond, and it's evident, it's obvious that it helps to keep the relationship good, because I mean, you know, without that, I'm sure it would have been a little bit more challenging considering the industry that you.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I want to say something also about like so we've been watching you too, you know, and congratulations on your beautiful growth in the industry. And I know that you said, you know, I haven't known you that long, but in industry years, like
That's a minute and a half.
yeah, like you know, like that is a really long time, and I think that really speaks to, for the three of us here, of like our commitment to our work and our craft and community and networking that we've built and support that we've had for each other to show up in these spaces. Because to be doing this for 10 years, or you know, close to it, that really says a lot in an industry that turns people over. Like lasting a year is a big
It's the
deal.
average, yeah.
Right. So you're seeing, those of you who are watching and listening, you're seeing 3 BIPOC adult industry content creators and educators like sustain ourselves. That's a beautiful thing.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Hold on. Okay. Anyway. Okay, on that note, I need a break for a minute. We're gonna watch this Duchess Cashmere video while I cool off.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Laissez le bon temps rouler, baby. Mardi Gras season. Hey, Miss Casey Carter. I am Duchess Cashmere, the griot erotica, and I come to serve all the tea. And you know I serve it piping hot and artistically nasty. I'm here to tell the stories and teach the children. I got the tips and the tricks to take your sexual experience to the highest degree of pleasure. Some come inside the cashmere room and let the Duchess show you the way.
What kind of tea are you serving today?
Ooh, clutch your pearls now and thank me later, because today's tea is physical touch.
Oh, girl, touch me in the morning.
In the noonday and in the afternoon. And I pose this question: when was the last time you touched your partner?
Okay, so you're saying before I got on the phone with you, because that's what I was doing.
A little touching might lead to a little more, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I mean, because, you know, I'm dealing with a bald head, and I just I just sometimes feel the need to just slide my hand across that ball head, place my lips on that ball. Girl, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like to lick it from time to time.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. And for all of
Thank you, Miss Casey
oh,
Carter.
listen, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I mean, because quite frankly, this is just me and you talking. So the
Oh,
fact
yes.
that the rest of y'all out there get to hear all of this stuff, yeah, y'all need to make sure you come back here to Casey at night. But you also,
Casey at night.
but you
Don't it
also,
come on every Wednesday, Miss Casey Carter?
yes, rumor has it, every Wednesday, 8
Every
p.m.
Wednesday,
Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that is.
Eastern
Yes,
Standard Time. Gotcha. Gotcha.
yes. And when you're not watching Casey at Night Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Standard Time, you're over
Okay.
on that Instagram checking out the Cashmere
Yes.
Room and wherever
Yes.
her podcast be at, because apparently she's streaming
Screaming,
everywhere.
flowing, squirting, everywhere.
Lord Jesus, help us. Oh, all right,
Pouring
girl.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Bye, Miss Casey Carter.
Bye, girl. Bye.
So yes, Duchess Cashmere.
With the tea.
With the tea in the noonday.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually
Mm-hmm.
that particular one specifically to air tonight about the physical touch because y'all touch a lot of people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so I'm gonna just kind of wrap that into our discussion about Royal Fetish Films, as I want you to tell the folks a little bit about Royal Fetish Films, and and wrap that into this discussion about intimacy because you guys, you do stuff with other people. You have intimate moments with other people. And so, I often wonder because see, okay, so let's just say that's your job, right? Like let's call that your day job, for example. And then you have to go home and be intimate with one another. And you've spent all this time during the day with someone else and you're tired and so we talked earlier about the kinds of things you can do to have intimate moments, but I'm curious as to how do you push yourself past the I'm tired, I've been doing this all day to create intimate moments when you don't feel like an intimate moment. When you don't because let's be honest, a lot of us don't feel
Tired.
So King usually comes back from shooting pretty inspired.
well then
And I think what is important about the type of work that we do for people to understand is like you build a tolerance for your work day, just like you do any other day. I mean, any other job. And our jobs, we're not shooting every single day, right? And there are certain things that we put in place, like, if your lover laid bricks, you probably would want to be more intimate on Saturday instead of like his last day on the job, right? So we make those kind of accommodations too. Like if King is shooting or I'm shooting and we've been tested already and we're prepping for our shoot, we have to respect our work and we have to respect our partner's work and we chill. And so maybe that's building up anticipation for when we're done working. It's like, dang, like, like, I guess I gotta wait. Sometimes like that's better, right? What's wrong with waiting? Or like we mentioned, having other forms of intimacy are incredibly important, because if you're only waiting for your partner's physical presence, then forget if you shoot porn or lay bricks. What happens if something happens to that person and they're not able to physically show up? in your relationship the same way. This year we saw people getting sick. You know, did their love stop with each other? Did we go like, damn, when you gonna stop being sick so I can get this dick? Like, we don't do that when you love someone. You make the accommodations that are necessary, but most importantly, if I only relied on physical intimacy, regardless of the type of work that he did, I would really be starving myself for my human need. So I just kind of want to point out, like, our industry is so much more similar to the same type of things that you have to do if you laid bricks or you sat at a computer all day. It's like, you're tired.
Right. Now, again,
Yeah, I think
you sort of like insinuated what it is you do. Royal
Oh,
Fetish.
they don't know that? I like King Tone.
well, we started Royal Fetish Films, what, 10 years ago? Somewhere around then. Both of us are bad at dates. Because at the time we were doing parties all over the world, and our primary customers or party goers were Black women between the ages of 25 and 45, and they will always ask us, yo, why is porn so bad, and why is it so horrible in its portrayal of Black folk? You know, where's the intimacy, where's the passion, where's the kink, where's lotion, where's lighting
hair
or
and makeup?
Yeah, like all of that. So what we wanted to do was kind of like show the full spectrum and beauty of Black sexuality. So that's what got Royal Fetish Films started. And I think over that span of time, I had already been in the industry in that fashion, and I knew there were things that I didn't want to experience again. I didn't ever want to have to take a job just because I needed the job, but I knew it was going to be some racist shit. You know, like, I didn't want to do that. You know, when I was young and hungry, I had to take a couple of jobs where I'm like, I know that they're gonna stereotype me when they put this out into the world, but I'm no longer do I ever have to do that, right? So I think that building our company, to get back to intimacy, was a whole lot of intimate conversations. Sustaining our company is a whole lot of intimate conversations, because, you know, there are times when we don't agree on things. There are times when we both say something, we're like, I was thinking the same shit, you know, or, you know, just, and everything in between. So we have to trust one another, because we are physically intimate with other people. So we have to trust that we're making sure that we're taking all the proper precautions in that aspect. We have to trust each other when it comes to paperwork and all these other aspects of owning a business, you know, from all the not fun shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the editing and taxes, you know what I mean? We got to trust each other on that shit too. So I think all of that creates a different level of intimacy, because there are so many things that we share with one another, and so many different areas that we kind of have to look out for one another, because there might be a day when I'm on set and Jasmine is not, or Jasmine's on set and I'm not, or I have to handle the back end of the website and Jasmine has to handle something else on the back end of the web. You know, like we're constantly doing that. So there's so many different areas, I think, now where there's like this relationship that's spoken without even being spoken. And it's great to discover new things about your partner. We're like, yo, I know you was good at motherfucking building websites and shit. I just taught myself how to do that shit. Wow, I'm gonna eat your pussy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get inspired by all of these things, you know? So it's like you find all these different ways to rebuild your love for each other, and then just be getting all intimate about it.
There's a part, like, about the other people part, is like, there's so much that we are doing before and after that's such a small portion of the work, the actual shooting, you know. And like by the time like I'm quite aware that you're going to be doing like acrobatic stuff and it's an outdoor shoot or something like that. Like, I don't even want your sweaty, funky self when you come in, like, rest a little, you know? And he'd be like, do you want to see what I did at work? Like, no, not yet, you know? But also, not all the time. And I think it's important for people to understand that too. Like, everything is not like a, you know, it's not like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch that with you. It's like, we got to get this done by a deadline, you know? So sometimes I think people kind of have this fantasy idea of porn couples that either we're always arguing about sleeping with other people or we're always turned on about sleeping with other people. King just told you about being turned on about coding a website, right? Like that, you know, so it definitely depends where we are in our day-to-day function, as well as where we are personally. Sometimes, yeah, depending on who you're shooting with, like, yeah, like, tell me that story right now. I want the leftovers of that. And other times it's just like, okay, like, we got to be focused. But I think from like being intimate with other people, I think like in my therapy work, if I was, I don't know, like telling like intimate stories and making plans to run off with my clients, that would be a boundary. Yeah. You know, if King is shooting with any other model and he comes home and he's like, we opened up a bank account together after we shot, like, I might be like, yo, I don't like this aspect of your work. You know, but we have boundaries in our work that we respect. Like, what level of intimacy are we creating with other people, and is it appropriate to what we are trying to build in our relationship or our business?
And also appropriate with the work you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's other people that are involved in the shoot as well, and they might be like, yo, I'm here to get a check. I'm not here to be intimate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that all of that comes into play as well, and I know that it is a lot of fantasy around porn, and there are also aspects of it that do completely fit into the fantasies that you have, but the fantasy is only a small portion of it. There's like, when you look at the whole of it, you know, you do see that it's like, example, if you're an actor that doesn't do porn and you're in a romantic film and you kiss your co-star, I don't think that every time, you know, Idris Elba kisses a woman on set, his wife, or I don't know if he's married,
his fiance, she all right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think she tripping off of that. She knew he was gonna be kissing some people on set when they first met each other. So if she was tripping off that now, then she with the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that has to come into it as well also. Like, whoever you love in this world, you have to accept them for who they are. And part of who they are is, you know, what their work is, or their artistic expression, or just what their lifestyle and what they want to experience in the world is, you know? So you got to accept that.
Ooh, you know what? One other, and I'm gonna let you go. We can get off of this, but another really cool thing about shooting with other people and being intimate, even whether it is like for that hour or, you know, it's a long set or scene, is like, there are certain things that I can do with other actors and actresses that I cannot do in our relationship. If I did, it would be disrespectful to King. It would be disrespectful to our relationship, and same with him. So there is that element of like, if I know like you're shooting with someone in particular that does a thing that we don't do here, I'm like, do that thing, King, and get paid for it, and don't bring that back here, you know? And like the same, I've done some things where you've been like, I'll film that shit, but don't ever ask me. You know, and so that is also an aspect of our work that is likely different than other people's work, where we get to have experiences.
Yeah, outsourcing.
Yeah, we get to
outsource
sexual experiences that we may not be able to have at home, and can we celebrate that? And yes, I always celebrate when we do anal sex outside the house.
Yes, I get my anal fix at work.
You work life?
I'm going to work for anal.
Oh my God.
That's why I got a job.
Okay. You know,
that's how I know he'll never quit his job.
Thank you for that.
Anal in the office.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Okay,
that's
that
another
was
coming out.
Anal in the office.
Anal at the office.
anal at the office. That was a lot of information. That was some good fucking information. I'm sitting here in my mind just like there's so many things that people can learn from that. And one of the things that kept coming to me is maturity. You know, whether you're in the adult entertainment industry or whether you drive for Uber, you know, you have to be with someone who's mature enough to handle the rigors of your job, the things that are required of you. You know, if you're that person who does the late night Uber driving, you know, you may be with somebody who's like, yo, why you always going out night? Why can't you do the daytime? Why you got to do the nighttime? Like, and where do you, why you always come home with so much money? Do you know what I'm like? There's a maturity that has to be there, you know, to handle some of what you just said. But I appreciate it because all of that shit needed to be said.
Word. You
And
could also do anal in an Uber.
Oh, only with consent of the driver.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's at the office.
So, you know, I think when we show up to these spaces, we've worked a lot of things out already. And I do want to be like as transparent and honest. It's like the first time for new opportunities is not always smooth and mature.
right.
You know, I think that like it's just like the commitment to knowing that we'll get there. We'll get there, you know, and being honest. Like there are times I'm throwing a tantrum, like, and I'm not being very mature about it. But he's willing to be patient with me, and I'm willing to be patient with myself to understand like maybe where these feelings are coming from. What is it that I don't like? What is it that, you know, what are my new boundaries? And so I think it is important that if you are challenged at this point with your partner, do you have enough time and space and commitment to the relationship to mature it?
I love that too, because that's real. That is very real. So thank you for throwing that in as well, because I think a lot of folks probably think, oh, they're okay with each other being with someone else. They're okay with that. I'm not necessarily okay with my wife talking about her work husband.
That's just where you are right now, and that's okay. You may be able to, maybe looking at us as an example, you know, grow that understanding between what is that work husband providing for your wife, and are there some boundaries that you can put in place so that you feel more comfortable with that relationship?
And do you really want to hear all about your wife's job?
Yeah.
Like for example, right?
That's a good point.
I'll use this in our context, and then you fit it to your job. So Jasmine shot for a company where she put her whole foot in somebody's ass, consensually, right?
Yeah, very much so.
I don't want that. I'm definitely down to hear about it. I watched it, awesome scene. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want that for me. So, you know, think about your wife's job. There are parts of it you might want to hear about, but do you want to go do her job too? No. But her work husband, he be doing that job, and they be talking about everybody in the office that you don't give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? Do you really care about Gladys in accounting? No, you fucking don't. You don't, but they do. They hate Gladys in accounting, and they could talk about Gladys in accounting for fucking hours. You don't want to do that, so let her have her work husband and stop being a jerk about it.
Thank that motherfucker. Send him flowers.
Hell yeah. Send work husband, you know what I'm saying, a golf cue, I don't know, golf club or some shit. Show him some love.
Now I feel like I need to send Anal Annie something.
I need to send the foot soldier something.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. All right. Be grateful for that work husband, that work wife. Okay, y'all. And again, though, very important, something that Jasmine and King said. Make sure you heard. Boundaries. Make sure you discuss the boundaries so that you're comfortable with the work husband and the work wife, because everybody understands what's too far. So We had a question earlier that I wanted to come back to, which was, what is the, and I'm going to switch out most for biggest misconception people have about your relationship being in the adult industry?
There's so many. I mean, I get a lot of messages telling me that King doesn't love me, like as he's loving me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, that the idea that because we have sex outside of our relationship or date other people outside of our relationship, that there can't be genuine love between us. What else?
Misconception about relationship. I think this one I don't really get people messaging me about it, but I think like so many times people think that just because we are in the profession that we're in, that we don't have any kind of standards in regards to, like, as a polyamorous person, or as people that do, you know, date or have sex outside of our relationship, that we have no standards, that we'll just fuck anybody, you know. And it's funny because usually when I'm at work and at home, I have a lot of sex. I enjoy that shit. You know what I'm saying? But when people step to me on the side, like they're trying to get to know me per se, and then they're always going straight to talking about sex, then I'm just like, oh, okay, well, you have a misconception about who I am as a person, because you don't think that I can converse or have any knowledge about anything besides fucking. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that they'll step in that way, thinking like, oh, well, this is all you do, because this is all I know about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is, or like you know, they're like, I want to be your third. I'm like, who are you? Like, where is there an application? Like, what else do you have to offer? And it's so interesting because we are in a space of sexual abundance,
right?
So marketing yourself as a potential, like, that's probably like the last thing that you should offer, because we're good mostly in that area. The other thing too is I think, like, when you said like out, and I said it too, sex outside of our relationship, I think I'm going to start saying like we have sex with other people within our relationship. Yeah. Like, because
that makes sense.
You know, like our relationship continues, and this is a part of our relationship, and I think maybe that might help people understand, like, there's no stepping out, you know, or even the idea,
what's
like
that shit? It's not like we got hall passes. That's like that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's just, it is this way. Part of our relationship is being able to welcome other experiences with other people as well. So yeah, those are some of the misconceptions. Or like, people ask, like, does King, like, will he let me sleep with other people and perform with other people? I find that to be really interesting. Like, it must be a male-led relationship if there's like this heightened sexuality in it.
Oh yeah! Wow. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's lady Captain Save'ems,
okay,
or male Captain, whether it's lady Captain Save'ems or male Captain.
Oh, did I just lost them? Oh no! Come back! Oh, wait, hold on.
We're back.
And we're back.
Oh, there we go. Oh no, what I was saying was just like, we also get the Captain Save'ems, the ladies and the guy Save'ems, that are like, oh, if you were with me, you wouldn't have to do that anymore.
I'm like, damn, that's why we're not gonna be together.
Assuming that you're not.
Yeah, I definitely get that message.
You
wouldn't have to be with other people no more. You wouldn't even want to. I'm like, what's he gonna lobotomize me or something? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's one of those places where I'm like, you need to mind your own business as it relates to my relationship. Clearly, you don't understand me to assume I'm not good. So yeah. Just wanted to. I've got some pics that I found over the years of us. In Okay, can I just say those last pictures of you? If you didn't think or ever like you look at Jasmine and you're like, oh, I wonder what she was like when she was younger. Those photos scream dancer so fucking loud. The posture of your body, even the way you were holding your hands, I'm like, how did I not see that? Like looking back at the pictures, I'm like, dancer.
That's so funny. Are you a dancer also, Casey?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you a dancer also?
Yes. Yeah. 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 It's
See how important those pointed toes are?
the pos and it's funny because I mean pulled straightness, the slight curve in the back, and then the period on it was the way you were holding your hand. I'm like, this bitch, okay? Just absolutely stunning.
You are an amazing observer.
For real.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody noticed the hand.
Yes.
If you are ever on set, Jasmine is like, point your toes. Point your toe. Fix your hand. Fix your hand. All right, now elongate. Elongate. It's whenever Jasmine is directed, I'm always so interested to watch.
I'm doing it for Casey.
How she's gonna.
It's so funny. I was looking at the pictures and I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm thinking to myself, because I have photos like when I'm wearing the tutus where I'm like, ooh, girl. So when I was looking at the pictures of you, I'm like, dancer. Yep, dancer. And I bet you weren't even thinking about it. You were just standing there.
It is a show.
Yeah.
At all times.
Okay, so there's one other thing I wanted to do that well, in a minute I want you guys to talk about Jasmine, to talk about what you do as a therapist and the activism. But in wanting to remind people that I was nominated for 2 awards, I wanted to mention that King was also nominated for 2 awards with ASN Lifestyle Magazine. These are mine, but King got nominated for stuff that I could not get nominated for. Like King got nominated for Best Adult Male Sex Toy and Best Lifestyle or Adult Industry Musician, Comedian, Entertainer. And you're wondering, how does King get nominated for Best Adult Male Sex Toy? Why don't you tell him, King?
It's not. I am a walking, talking sex toy. I don't know. We don't have any of the dildos around right now, but
I do have a bowl of dicks though.
I worked with Lust Arts to mold myself, and it is out there in the world. So all the people who I can't fuck within our relationship because either you're too far away or you don't want to do it on camera or something like that, you can fuck me in the privacy and comfort of your own home in all holes.
You're still being like way too humble with this though.
What you mean?
Because I think like the full, wanting a mold was one thing. Like that definitely was like your like mission in life to make sure you could fuck as many holes as possible, whether you're here, there, or anywhere. But like the importance of making sure that toys actually look like the people that they say that they are supposed to look like, or when you go and search a toy and you want a Black person's like to resemble a Black person, and they give you literally a Black toy, and like King's toy is all the shades of his dick. It is the veins of his dick. It is a real, it is really, really you.
It's me.
But how important that is, that representation in even sex toys, and how it's lacking. And how when you look up, when you're trying to find an adult male star's toy, it's not him. It's like that other toy in another man's packaging. Yeah. It's like they took somebody else's dick and put it in somebody else's drawers. Like that's how shopping for dildos for adult performers is like. So it is, I think that the toy is great on so many different levels.
And then also because I'm a sneakerhead, we got it in like a whole bunch of crazy colorways as well. So you can get it colored with like in vibranium or merlot or all these please me pink, money green, all these great colors. And then also it is environmentally and bodily safe. Mm-hmm. So it's not like one of these sex toys that down the road you're gonna be like, shit, I don't want to get cancer from it, you know what I mean? Like, right. So real talk, like on that aspect of it. So I'm really hyped to be nominated for that. And also the music one got me hyped for real too.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, because in all the info that I got, that wasn't in there. And I'm like, well, I talk about my shit. I'm going to talk about your shit while we talk about my shit. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, but again, tell us, since we're talking about you and the music, tell us about what you are doing with the proceeds from the music.
Well, with a previous album called Music Is My Weapon, I actually used all the profits and proceeds from that album to build a school, a freshwater well, and a medical facility, and solar panels in Guinea-Bissau, West Africa, in a village called Djati. And it happened because I was the first American performer, my first American hip hop performer to ever rock in Guinea-Bissau. So a woman by the name of Devin Austin, she was looking up how she traced her roots back to Guinea-Bissau, and she was looking up ways to try and help. And because I was there, my name just popped up with Guinea-Bissau. So she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach out to this rapper and see if he'd be willing to do like a concert." And we were like, a concert it's a one-time thing, but an album, it lives forever. So let's use that album for that. So I released that one a while ago though. That album has now built all of the things that we set out to build.
That is awesome. Wow. Okay. And Jasmine, therapist. Yeah, let's talk about that. And found that out. I was really very fascinated by that. So, please talk about your work.
Yeah, so I am the owner and lead therapist for Blue Pearl Therapy. It's a full mental health virtual practice. And, I've been a therapist longer than I have been in the adult industry, but started this practice about 3 years ago now, working, completely independent. So we shifted 3 years where we only clock into each other, to ourselves and to our entities. This work that I've always been focused on intimacy post-injury and intimacy post-illness. So helping people connect when, for a majority of our life, we will be older adults, and also for majority of our life, we will be navigating all the many things that contribute to us getting older. So our bodies, you know, even if we're not ill, our bodies just move differently. Our mobility gets limited, but our mind gets so expansive. So I've always been really fascinated on like what sex looks like when you're not 18 anymore, which so much of the market, most of your life, so much of the market is focused on being like young and hot and sexy, right? But you're only that for a small portion of time. So what does the rest of sex look like for older adults?
Grown and sexy.
Exactly. And that has certainly led into the work that we do on all spheres. But when it comes to therapy, I do see primarily Black and brown women. And then my next population of most served folks are sex workers. So where they can come and receive non-judgmental care. Most of the time with sex workers, we're not talking about sex work. We're talking about, our kids being raggedy and, like the future plans of the world and things of that sort. But oftentimes when they are seeing non-sex worker or non-sex work friendly therapists, the focus is always on their job being the problem. And for many of us, our job is our solution. Mm-hmm. So that's the work that I'm doing and will continue through forever. I don't ever see myself not providing mental health care or training people on how to provide mental health care.
That is absolutely awesome. I seriously applaud both of you. The audience can't see me clapping, but I'm clapping. I applaud the work that you're doing. I mean, because it takes a lot with all that you do, and you do a lot. It also takes a lot to be giving of yourself outside of what you do that personally benefits you. So I applaud you for that. And our time is almost over. So I want to make sure everyone sees all your socials, the website. And I can't thank you enough for giving me this time. We're late today because Jasmine was doing something before this, and we could have pre-recorded, but deep down in my heart, I really wanted them live. So I was willing to do whatever it took for me to have you guys live. Because as I said to you, I'm jumping off of this to go into my next thing. So yeah.
See, busy people.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it done. We get it done some way.
Get it done. Yes. So again, everyone, you can find them at www.jetsettingjasmine.com or on Instagram at Jet Set Jasmine and the Real King Noire, on Twitter, Jet Set Jasmine and King Noire, and on OnlyFans, Jet Set Jasmine King Noire. Like basically, just remember. Just remember that. That's pretty easy. I mean,
There you go.
So, but coming up next week, another of my favorite people, Ty Shaw. Oh my God. If you came to my birthday party, and I know most of you did not, so I'm just going to say, if you came to my birthday party, you would have seen this goddess come with her yoga swing and suspend these beautiful, beautiful brown skinned women and then let me have my way with them. And absolutely, she is amazing, an amazing rigger. But Ty Shaw is so much more than that. And I'm so excited to have her on next week. And don't miss that. That will be at 8:30 because like King and Jasmine, she got shit to do before all of this. So she's going to be at 8:30 next week. And again, one last time to see King and Jasmine socials, to say good night. And I'll see all of you. Well, technically, I'm going to see all of you again at 10 o'clock if you're watching BoobTube on Exotica TV. Otherwise, I will see you next week at 8:30. All righty. Bye.